it was quite successful amongst the boats, and people used to make quite a lot of money from it. And part of the things I used to do was they would go off in really bad weather. And I remember a guy telling me a story that he was at school in Mallaig, and he saw this boat coming in, because for a brief period it was painted cream, so it was very distinctive, you know. And it came in, and he described it as a sort of a winter's Wednesday afternoon when it's just starting to get sort of dusk. And the boat came in, discharged as quick as that could be, and then it left as it was getting dark. And it left, and the boat, he said the boat was almost standing on end as it went out of the harbour, but it was going all the way across to the Outer Hebrides to meet its partner, who would be waiting there. And then they would fish again, and perhaps the alternate boat would come back the next time. But they would often fish in that bad weather so as to get the price, and a best price, and they would discuss amongst themselves where to land the catch depending on, you know, what was going on. And often there'd be very few boats landing if the weather was really bad. So that's the thing. And a gentleman told me that he worked on this boat for 2 weeks, and he earned enough to buy a new Mini when Minis, so that would have been, was it 1959 when Minis ran? So it's an awful lot of money, no matter how you look at it. You know? Now, it wouldn't have been like that all the time, but it was quite a lucrative thing for them, you know. It's built using quite substantial oak frames, which was you know, well seasoned and you know, carefully selected, and with larch planks. And they use larch because it resists seawater incredibly well. In effect, it almost like pickles, seawater pickles the wood, so it's very, very long lasting. And then for the deck, pitch pine is evidently what the wood is. It's not larch, and so the whole construction is incredibly strong, but it's also quite resilient. It's quite smooth. It flexes ever so slightly with the sea. So this construction is the same construction as boats have been built for years and years and years. The deck planks are about 1.5 inches thick, and the hull planks are maybe slightly less than that. When we've had the boat surveyed and looked at, the frames are pretty much okay, the deck beams are pretty much okay, the planks are okay. There's a lot of wear on the deck, and there's a few planks need replacing with that in mind. We need to do a lot of work around the edges of the deck because you're getting rainwater that flows off the deck, and some of it comes down the frames, and it's not good. That's not a good thing, because that'll cause the boat to soften up. And sometimes we'll build two at a time. They certainly didn't build that many, because, you know, it's a massive undertaking. I mean, how many thousands of man hours would it take to build something like that? We know when we've had planks replaced and a stem replaced, it's many days of sort of hard work to get something like that done. So it's a major thing. I used to find if I hadn't been on a boat for a few weeks when I went to Campbelltown, especially in the winter, the boat would almost be sulking, that you'd go down below and it would feel damp and unwelcoming. But after you lit the fire and you'd get everything going, the boat would suddenly sort of almost like welcome you again. And so many incredible coincidences when I owned it about meeting people and talking to people and things. So it is that thing. So to say that again, more than the sum of parts, whatever that means, but that's what the boat is. Certainly what I think anyway.